Do you ever find yourself being a little bit stingy with your herbal remedies because you pay so much for them? Today I'm going to show you a way how you can make your own and not only save money but improve the quality of what you got. Hi, this is Dr. Christensen and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own super powerful, potent, and effective herbal remedy. We're going to be making our super immune syrup today. We like this syrup not only because it's great in building and strengthening your immune system, but it also tastes great, and it's something that your kids will line up like little birds to take from you. In making our immune formula, we always begin with an alcohol extract. I've experimented with other means of making a liquid extract, and they're just not as potent or powerful as one made with alcohol. Making something simply from glycerin, it does not have the power or the capacity to pull the phytonutrients or the plant chemicals out of the plant and into the liquid. Alcohol has that ability. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, the molecule water. Water is a molecule. It is an oxygen and a hydrogen and a hydrogen. Alcohol, however, is set up chemically as an oxygen and a hydrogen and an empty hand wanting to grab onto something. Alcohol has the unique ability to pull the medicinal properties out of the plant and into the liquid where we want them and where we will be able to use them. And so today we're going to be using, to make our extract, some vodka. Easy to find at your liquor store or your grocery store. You don't need to buy top quality vodka. We're again interested in this for its chemical properties, not for its beverage. And so I tell people all the time, this is not a beverage. It's a tool. It's a tool to pull the chemicals out of the plant. In order to make an extract, we're gonna use the herbs and we're gonna blend. The herbs that I'm using for this formula is first Echinacea Angustifolia. There's about 9 different Echinacea plants that are commonly found. The Echinacea Angustifolia, the root of that plant, is the most potent and effective. For this recipe, we use 9 ounces. I've converted all of these recipes to volume recipes rather than weight. Weight is the way that we measure things in the industry. However, for our purposes, we use volume because we've done the calculations for you. So 9 ounces, which is going to be about a heaping cup of the Echinacea Angustifolia. Again, this is an herb that was used by the Native Americans. It is a native plant to the United States or North America, and again, very effective in boosting the body's ability to fight infection. So we have Echinacea Angustifolia. The next one is 4.5 ounces of Echinacea Pupurea, another Echinacea plant, and it kind of balances out many of the positive aspects of the Angustifolia. Again, 4.5 ounces is going to be a heaping half cup. As you see, I'm not terribly precise in my measurements. When we're making our own herbal formula, there's lots of wiggle room, and so it's not like making bread where we need to be precise. The next ingredients are going to be 1 ounce each of that. You can buy these little 1 ounce measuring cups. They're typically for measuring coffee. It's 2 tablespoons is 1 ounce, and so we measure that. Understand that if you add more herb to your remedy, it may be stronger. However, it's going to absorb more of the liquid, so your return is not going to be as great. The next herb we use is Eleuthero root. Eleuthero root used to be called Siberian Ginseng. However, there were unscrupulous people who were selling it just as ginseng, and this is about $14 a pound compared to $700 a pound for the Panax or American ginseng. And so industry demanded that we call it Eleuthero root, and that's what we do. you don't have a problem with that. It's a great herb. It's an adaptogen. It adapts to what we need. It boosts the body's immune system. The next herb is Podiarco. Podiarco, they use the inner bark, so that fine lining. Podiarco, the wood itself, also known as lapacho, is often used for hardwood floors. But the inner bark is antibacterial, it's antiviral, it's also antifungal. And so it's a great herb for our immune formula here. Next we add, which did I do? Did I do cat's paw? That's it. And then the last one we add is cinnamon. Cinnamon is great for digestive. We're finding that cinnamon has more properties than we realized. 1 ounce or 1/8 cup of this. However, I often add a little bit extra because we really like cinnamon. Again, the dominant flavors in this remedy are going to be cinnamon and maple syrup. You'll see as we finish it that we use maple syrup to preserve as well as sweeten the remedy, and that's what makes it so desirable for children. And so now that we've got our remedies added to our herbs added to the now that we've got our herbs added to the blender, this measures about 2 cups, and that's the ratio that we use. We're going to be making 2 cups of dry herb to fill the 2-quart jar, and so it's going to be about a 4-to-1 ratio. And so to blend this, I simply put it in the blender, and then I'm going to add the alcohol to that. And I'm going to bring it up to about the 1-quart mark here. Again, it doesn't matter exactly how much I'm adding to this because I'm going to be putting it into the jar and filling up the jar there. Next, we blend. Okay, so now that we're blended, what we do is we pour this. Pour this into the jar. You can notice this is really kind of thick. It's going to be thicker than when you do it. I had to rush and see a couple patients, and so it sat in the blender for a while. But once it's blended, what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the 2-quart jar. I like to rinse out all of the herb that I can. And I'm going to fill this up to the neck of the jar. Giving myself about 1 inch so I'll have room to shake it. Okay, so this is my finished batch. All I have to do now is I'm gonna put a label on it. I label everything with what it is and the date. Very, very important. I used to think that I would remember. I don't, and you won't either. And so label your jar. Each day you're going to shake that jar at least twice. That again helps to release the chemicals from the plants. And after 2 weeks you'll be ready to strain. And so I've got a jar of my finished product. We did this one on June 9th. Of this year. I'm just going to shake it a little bit to loosen things up again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to strain this for our finished product. There we go. And so what I found to be the best strainers, people will talk about using cheesecloth. It doesn't hold a candle to the paint strainers. You can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can order them online. They're very inexpensive and they work really, really well. Once you're done with it, you rinse it out, you throw it into the laundry, you wash it, and you're ready to use it again and again and again. And so that's what we like to use. Let me grab a bowl to strain this in. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to strain this, and in order to strain it, we simply put it over the paint strainer. I'm going to pour it into the jar like so. We're in the process of developing an herb press that will have a capacity of several tons to strain it. So when you use the press, you'll be able to literally get every drop out. But in the meantime, what we do is we just squeeze and strain with our hands. And so now's the time to grab the strongest guy in the house or girl in the house, if that's the case, and squeeze and squeeze to get everything out of it that we can. You can break these strainers open if you twist and put too much torsion on it, which we do sometimes. Okay, so that's pretty good. There's probably another ounce and a half of liquid in here if I had a press to really squeeze it. But for our purposes today, this is what we've got. And so my product here is my strained Echinacea. I've got Echinacea Angustifolia and Echinacea Pupurea. I've got cat's claw. We've got Eleuthero root. We've got Podiarco and cinnamon. What we're going to do to help stabilize this is use some maple syrup. Now, this doesn't need to be stabilized. This is fine just like it is, but it's not going to taste as good, especially for the kids. And so the maple syrup will help to stabilize it even further. One of the things we used to do with this is we used to heat this up and heat off the alcohol. The ethyl alcohol that is found in vodka and the other spirits that we use evaporates at about 180 degrees. And so we can gently heat this. That will evaporate off, and we'll be left with just the water. Interesting to note, the methyl or the methanol alcohol evaporates at about 150 degrees, I believe. And so it evaporates first. The problem with moonshiners, when you had bad alcohol that would cause death or blindness and all kinds of health problems, is they wouldn't evaporate that methanol off in an effort to sell more alcohol. Again, the methanol is poisonous. This type of alcohol that you buy at the liquor store is not, and it evaporates at 180 degrees. If you evaporate it off, you'll basically bring the volume down to about 60%, and then you'll stabilize with the maple syrup. One of the problems we've seen with that, however, is in a few cases that maple syrup is fermented and given it actually tastes like spiced apple cider, kind of. And so rather than risk that, we leave the alcohol in. Again, in a normal dose, you're not going to be getting enough alcohol to really worry about it. So what we do is we simply add some organic maple syrup. Grade B maple syrup is actually the best on the market. It's got more mineral content in it. It is a little bit better. It costs about 2 to 3 times what the grade A does. And so for our purposes, we're just happy and fine with the grade A maple syrup. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna pour and hopefully not spill my immune formula back into the jar that I started with. You notice here there's a little bit of sediment. I tend not to worry so much about that. Occasionally we will use a coffee filter to filter it through. I'm at about 5 cups here. I'm going to add the maple syrup. and I'm going to have more maple syrup. And so you can finish it off just by filling it with maple syrup, or what we'll do sometimes is again use the rest of the maple syrup. So a whole 32 ounces of that. You can see the rich brownness of the maple syrup. I'm going to stir it up real good. And again, the dominant flavors here are going to be the cinnamon and the maple syrup. And so again, most kids don't have a problem at all drinking this. Dosage is going to be 1 to 2 dropperfuls. You could even do it every hour if somebody's sick. The rule in our house is if somebody gets sick, everybody takes the herbs. And so there I've got this. I like containers, and so what I typically do with our maple syrup containers is I peel off the label here, and then I'll put one of our finished labels on the product. And so there you have it. This is an immune syrup. I encourage you to make this on your own. We are putting together remedy kits where you can purchase everything you see here minus the alcohol. We can't sell the alcohol to you. You've got to get it on your own. And so go to our webpage and you can order this. You can order other of our herbal remedies. We'll be talking about more of these in the future. If you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe, share it with your friends. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.